different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
Hello, President Trump. Are you looking to buy or lease today?
Well, I'm going to buy, and I'm going to buy because, number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets, and number two, because this man has devoted his energy and his life to doing this, and I think he's been treated very unfairly by a very small group of people.
This is bulletproof.
I mean, look, in terms of imagination, I think I have a great imagination. Who else but this guy would design this, and everybody on the road is looking at it? It's amazing, actually. As soon as I saw it, I said, that is the coolest design.
Did you see that? Did you?
People, it is Sunday already. Another week flown by. Thanks for joining me on the Sunday live stream here on My Left Eye. I'm your host Lefty. Hope you're all doing well. You're all very welcome here this evening. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Rick, not impressed with that sort of second-hand car showroom efforts in front of the White House. How you doing tonight? Let me know in the chat. We've got Davinia in the chat already. Mithril, great to see you again. Light as a feather, hard as dragon scales. Oh, speaking of Lord of the Rings references, actually, please do stick around, Mithril. Got a slightly what's the word? Long-winded Lord of the Rings reference in one of the clips that's going to be coming up. A tenuous link, that was the word I was looking for. But great to see you. Odin Allfather, great to see you as well. No, this is the proper start now. That was just a warm-up picture earlier. Hope you like that, from Abolish Westminster. The Labour one that was, the silhouette. Much to come on that topic tonight, definitely. Great to see you, Morbius, as well. And Doc Davies. We do have a doctor in the house. Great to see you. We've also got Chris and Andy Carter. Great to see you once more. And a happy Socialist Sunday, I should say as well, to everybody. Anyone who's not a regular viewer, this channel is all about politics and society from a left-wing point of view or perspective. Yeah, but you're all welcome. Knock us about your social media as well, feel free to do that. We're also available on Blue Sky, Mastodon and Twitter at the moment. Give us a follow there, as well as a thumbs up on the stream. We'll be getting down to business and brass tacks very shortly. Just wait for a few more people to arrive. Martin Arnold, great to see you as well. I'd like to introduce the band as well. Of course, the regular band here on Sunday live streams. A bit more laid back from the regular funk that we have during the brews at 10 on weekdays. But you're listening to Herbie Ranger and the Supersonics. Herbie's blasting the trumpet away there, but you can't hear it. It's in such a high pitch. just to keep people up to speed with the in-jokes. It's definitely not a pre-recorded track. Got a 4-piece jazz band crammed into the studio, but that's another subject, right people? We'll also be going over to Keith's Fondue Lounge shortly, of course. Another regular feature on Sundays. That's great advice in the chat, Andy Carter. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit like, whether you're listening live or back on a replay. Please add a comment as well if you're watching back on a replay. And Andy celebrating 9 months of membership. Thank you very much for that. It's great to have had you for 9 months here on My Left Eye. Never short of a pun or two either, Andy. And Mithril also celebrating 9 months of membership. Thank you very much for that also. Wow, great stuff. Yes, speaking of memberships, coming on to the customary thank you to existing members at the moment. The 9-month club. Yes. Yes, people, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and their thems. I like. It's great to see a dual celebration there. Thank you for the update there, Davinia. Hope all's going well there. So where were we? Yes, a customary thank you to all of you good people. This is the latest updated list. When I find it. There it is. Sorry, I've been rearranging a few things on the broadcast software recently. That's to bring you some new features which I'm going to talk about later. But for now, of course, thank you to all the people on the roster. Hope you're enjoying your memberships. It's always great to have your feedback. More exclusive content to come soon as well. Yes, so it's just 99p to join on the channel. There are perks for you to enjoy. Feel free to check those out. But it's also the preferred way of supporting the channel because it expands the community as well as supporting the channel, which contributes towards things like this new microphone, which I've tried for the last 2 or 3 live streams. It's coming through very nicely. Had a couple of technical issues with the previous one I was using. Guitar Guy 80, nice to see you. And Andy Carter, thank you very much, my friend. Wow, celebrating 9 months of membership whilst distributing a gifted membership. Great stuff. So Tariq, please do enjoy your perks if you're listening live. Thanks again for that, Andy. Thanks to everybody who was on that list there. Now let's bring you good people up in the chat. Just have to do some jumbling with the logos and such. Let's keep things in order here. There we go. Pleasure as always to see everyone in the chat. Yeah, I think I've done all of the appropriate self-promotion and whatnot for now. It just remains for me to say, actually, if you're watching back on a replay, super thanks are open as well. there's other ways to contribute to the channel, including buy me a coffee page, so please do check those out. Speaking of which, actually, it had passed me by, what with the recent Wi-Fi issue that I was having. Have noticed, fortunately, and another great example there from Andy, the previous problem with the gifted membership seems to have resolved itself properly now. Although, you know, not wood, in saying that I'll probably jinx myself. Not that I'm superstitious much. But I did see a black cat carrying a ladder and throwing it at a mirror earlier, so I don't know how foreboding that was, what sort of omen that could be. Martin, were you on the old Sunday roast there earlier? I must check that out. Is that right? Or was that in the chat or actually on the show? Please keep me posted on that. I've not seen one of those for a while. The old Sunday roast. I know that Max Robes Pierre makes regular appearances on there. That was where it first came to my attention. Yeah, probably to do with the EU or Tory austerity, probably at the time. Just when I went over. But yeah, keep me posted on that one. Always great to see what you good people are up to. Let us know if you're a YouTuber yourself. I know that we've got Mobius in the chat as well. I'm more than happy to help promote other YouTubers. Because we've got to stick together, people. I mean, it's Socialist Sunday after all. We're all in this together against the bastards. Shakes fist. I do have to recall now and then that I'll make certain gestures, and this is actually a faceless channel, but there you go. Yeah, well, I mean, being a political, you know, commentator of sorts myself, do often find myself having to watch more Libby stuff. Have to watch interviews with all sorts of people who I disagree with, because, you know, you got to know your enemy sort of thing. But yeah, it's not too bad, you know. Anyway, I'm not getting into. There's been a bit of that recently, hasn't there? People, I'm sure that a few of you in the chat will know. But I certainly won't be dragged into anything myself. I noticed watching a replay of was it Kev's stream? Yeah, it was Kevin Logan's stream. Another shout out, solidarity with Kevin Logan as well, I should say, while I'm talking about promoting other YouTube channels. He was talking on his stream, I think it was earlier on today or yesterday when I saw it. There's been a falling out between two channels that I actually do follow myself, who I'm subscribed to. In fact, one of them was recommended by one of you good people in the chat during a live stream. I remember the Vanguard have had a bit of a falling out with Cavernicle, Tomato, who I've mentioned before, probably whilst I was dunking on Elon Musk, which there might be more of coming later in the stream, believe me. I'm always prone to going off on tangents against Elon Musk. So yeah, I believe this was over the topic of misogyny. I didn't have time to watch the full stream, or on a replay I should say, but I did catch some bits and pieces of it. I'm pretty sure I saw some familiar faces coming up in the chat as well as I was watching. So yeah, essentially, I don't know where that's up to, but I don't want to be drawn into any arguments against other channels. I know that in certain cases, these sort of public disagreements can boost viewings, but that's not the way that I want to do it here on My Left Eye, believe me. I'm not saying that that's why they've fallen out either. Asterisks is footnotes. That's all I'll say on that. But yeah, a couple of free shout-outs there as well. Check out the Vanguard as well. That was recommended to me, like I said, and also the Cavernacle. The Cavernacle. Cavernacle. God, there must be a good few ways of pronouncing that. Now, whichever pronunciation it is, if, like I said, you'd like to see people dunking on Musk, then he's another great YouTuber for that. Super great to see you in the chat. Is it Tabernacle? We'll add that to the list. They were fighting over Anna Kasparon. That's correct, yeah. But I do have to see this bull debate. It's quite interesting, quite, you know, artistically zeitgeisty, and it's people, that is people in the chat commenting on Kevin Logan, commenting on a debate between two people, several layers and points of view. Cavernacle. Thank you, Andy. Cavernacle. How many attempts do I have remaining? Is there an official? Is anyone keeping score? Right, we've lingered far too long here, people. It's great to chat with you in the chat, but must move along. I'll catch up with you very shortly. Having thanked the members, get your bowls and spoons ready, people. It's time for a neoliberal helping of fondue. We're going to go over to Keith's Fondue Lounge now. It's a regular feature on Sunday. Shout out to the Agitator, who as always provides us with this incredibly comedic scene, which is a bit of an earworm as well, I should say, while I'm at it. Yeah, and then I'll talk through what's going to be coming up in the show. Here he is. So we're back once again to Gate Crash Keith's Fondue Party. But what have Heath and the Stormtroopers been up to this week, people? Well, we're going to be diving straight into that, as you can tell per the title of tonight's stream. Rachel Reeves' latest cuts, the latest austerity from Labour, the Tories in red rosettes. The cheese-munching Thatcherites that they are. I'm not knocking cheese, of course, you know. We should try a vegan cheese, if you can. Foot-tapping music indeed, Davinia. I found myself drawn to this scene for quite some time, but the Agitator's fantastic. You should see what he's been posting earlier today as well. Available on social media at Agitate for Change. That's the number 4 or 4 or 4, depending on where in north you're from. So do check him out. Fantastic guy, and a very active socialist as well. I've had the pleasure of bumping into him in person. We were both there to protest the Tory conference in Manchester, actually. And tonight, well, pretty straightforward really. It's mostly going to be dunking on Reeves and these cuts in the civil service. At the same time, also trying to defend the freebies, once again, the Sabrina Carpenter gratuities, but also her excuses of where that she's trying to talk her way out of these awkward topics. I'm going to be coming on to as well. Canada looks set to have a snap election as well. Take a quick look at that. But that's coming down the road pretty quickly, just over a month away. It's been called by the new Prime Minister of Canada, who used to be the head of the Bank of England. JT, let me make sure I'm producing this correct. Jay Satoki, great to see you. Are you liking the tunes? Great to see you liking the tunes. Also tonight, the latest in the Middle East. There have been some developments there as well, with Lebanon and Yemen getting pulled, dragged into this situation yet again over the last couple of days or so. Kit, great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Don't worry about being late. If you want to catch up with the beginning, don't worry. I know a few of you who don't always catch us from the start like to catch up on a replay, or sometimes play it on 1.5 times speed or 2 times speed. So this goes out to everybody who's listening to me in a more high-pitched register tonight. In fact, one day I'm going to start doing the streams using helium just to mess with the people who do that. Normally joking. Won't do that. Probably. Marx Carney. No, it's definitely not Marx Carney. He's firmly neoliberal, just like Keith and Mandelson and Blair here. Margaret Hodges there. And yeah, I always like to think that's right at the back. Can you see in the blue top, Lisa Nandy, I think, kicking back there. She's been quiet recently, and she's a Labour MP from the northwest as well. I've not heard much from her recently. Interesting. But we do have other topics to get into. It's all about Reeves tonight, so get ready to dunk on Rachel. Another comedy clip to start with, of course. Just one more bit to get through. So we'll leave it there for the Fondue Lounge. We'll check in on Keith again towards the end of the stream. Thanks, Keith. Okay, fellas, if you'd like to just pick up the jazz again, thank you. Thank you, Herbie. Okay. Just quickly before going to the comedy clip, thanks again to all of the members on the channel, people who've renewed as well and gifted memberships to others, as I said earlier. So that's the current membership goal. I should have done this after I put the list up, sorry. Slipped my mind. But the membership goal's set to 60 at the moment, 60% of the way to 100, which is the current target. So thanks again to those of you who've renewed recently. We did get it up to the high 80s, low 90s for a while there, and actually tipped over during one of the live streams. So thanks again, everyone. I'll leave that running total during the live stream. Let's get into the first clip, something light-hearted before we begin to doom scroll. And it's Michael Spicer. Very fitting, as was the picture at the start of the stream about Labour's cuts to the disabled, cuts to the poor. Yeah. So please do check out this very funny fella, Michael Spicer.
Thanks for seeing me. Right, so you're in a wheelchair and you are on PIP.
Yes.
Well, not anymore, I'm afraid. Toodle PIP. What are you going to do to help me find a job then? Well, I've got a company here that is hiring at the moment. You're more than qualified for these jobs, so there you go. Off you pop. This company is located in a building that is 50 years old. I know, it's a gorgeous building, but has it been adapted for a wheelchair user? And the nearest train station doesn't have wheelchair access. Well, leave 5 minutes earlier and get off at the previous station. That doesn't have wheelchair access either. Ah, right. Well, leave 10 minutes earlier in the morning and get off at the... If you take away PIP, are you going to put measures in place regarding public transport accessibility? Are you going to give companies grants to set up programs to help improve their relationship with disabled people? Are you going to reassess anti-discrimination and employment laws to help disabled people find jobs better? Are you going to prioritise the need to make more buildings accessible to disabled people? Are you at least going to suggest to company directors not to be so openly critical of people working from home when, in a lot of cases for disabled people, that is an option that they need? So what are you going to do now you've taken PIP away from me? Well, look, forgive me, but you can't expect the government to do everything for you. You need to be more independent. Okay, in that case, could I have a little bit of money each week to help me be more independent? Well, you mean like a personal independence payment? Yeah, to replace PIP. But that is PIP. Okay, well, just call it something else then. How about personal independence support system? That spells piss. What's wrong with that? Well, I can't say I'm taking the piss, can I? Why not? You've been doing that since you were elected.
Oh, very good. Ha ha. Yes, yes. Do you see what he did there? Do you see what he did there at the end? That was a good one. That was a very good one. Michael Spicer. He also does those great sketches, The Room Next Door, where he'll be pretending to be the behind-the-scenes person who's putting words into the politicians' ears. Wonderful. And it's funny because it's true, and that's where it's heading, you know, these so-called reforms to the Department of Work and Pensions. They're really cranking up the austerity, people. Right, let's take a look at some art. Okay, people, she'll be back now. Apologies for that. Yeah, the cursed mic again. It's not the microphone, actually. It's actually the USB port. It's just a technicality, of course. Octo, yeah. Thanks for your patience, people. Back once again. Yeah, thanks for pointing it out in the chat. Obviously, I had to type very badly as I was rushing to reset everything there. But yeah, obviously I can't give you an audio response when it's a mic issue. But thanks a lot. Right, where were we? We're in the article. Let's see, I'll just go back through a little bit of that, move on. I'm not sure exactly where the mic cut out there, but well, that means you probably missed my impression of Pat McFadden as well. Or did that get in before it cut off? Right, let's review just a little. I was just pointing out about the total jobs, just over 550,000. Yes, so cutting them will inevitably have an impact that will be noticed by the public, of course. Reeves is in complete denial about the impact of this, which we'll see in the absolutely insane clip coming up. So she's hinted, obviously, that she won't raise taxes or government budgets in the spring statement. But what good? What good is the Labour promise at all? It's not even worth any more than a Tory promise, is it? And this sounds familiar as well, with regards to the imitation of this, Doge thing that Musk is doing. Every department's been asked to rank their spending from most important to least. Responded to claims, of course, from some on the left. I guess that includes me and you good people. But from the left of the Labour Party, what's left of it, that the government's approach amounted to a return to conservative austerity. Reeves pointed to an extra 100 billion of capital spending and 20 billion for the NHS announced in October's budget. But, well, we're in May now. You can pull any number you like out of the sky unless you actually implement it. Then that's all academic, isn't it? But no, they can try and dress it up as much as they want. At the end of the day, it's just, again, austerity shying away from the elephant in the room, the real solution that's taxing the super wealthy, of course. So, Pat McFadden's been giving out the orders on that one. Let's take a look at this clip that I mentioned. because this is in response to the actual independent assessments of what will be the impact of Reeves' policies, and they say that every family will be £1,400 worse off by 2030.
Different from what we saw under the previous government.
But just to be clear, you're saying that you simply don't think that living standards are going to fall. In fact, you're suggesting that they're rising now and they'll continue to rise. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm confident that we will see living standards increase during the course of this Parliament. What we've already seen in these last few months of the Labour government is a sustained increase in living standards. Next month, at the beginning of April, people on the national living wage will see a 6.7% increase in their wages, £1,400 more a year. That's only possible because of the stability that we have returned to the economy. And of course, those three cuts in interest rates from the Bank of England mean that mortgage rates are lower than they otherwise would have been. We've got to do more, absolutely, in terms of raising living standards, but this government have already got started in delivering our plan for change. Very different from what we saw.
Oh, she made the trifecta there at the end. I was going to interrupt, but I just wanted to play the whole thing first before we go through that appalling performance there. But of course, delivering the plan for change, ding, 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 people, regular viewers all know what I'm referring to there. Yeah, so let's go from the top with that, because that was completely insane. Bearing in mind, the whole topic of this interview is that people are going to be worse off by 2030. That's a fact. Regardless of the amount of confidence that Rachel Reeves may or may not have, that's, you know, how can you differentiate this between the 14 years of Tories being put on the spot on the media and the attempts to backtrack that we saw from them and the straight-faced lies? Because to me it's completely indiscernible.
Very different from what we saw under the previous government.
But just to be clear, you're saying that you simply don't think that living standards are going to fall. In fact, you're suggesting that they're rising now and they'll continue to rise. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm confident that we will see living standards increase during the course of this Parliament.
Yeah, probably for the likes of landlords, the super wealthy, the establishment, that is. Certainly not if you work in the civil service, Rachel. This interview from today, the same day that it's announced that you're going to be making cuts to the civil service for the loss of thousands and thousands of jobs. How about their living standards? Are they going to go up? What about the living standards for disabled people who are going to lose their personal independent payments? No? Where are these people? Where are these people? She obviously makes somewhat of a loose reference towards the minimum wage, but when you look at the broader picture, that doesn't cover her tracks.
What we've already seen in these last few months of the Labour government is a sustained increase in living standards. Next month, at the beginning of April, people on the national living wage will see a 6.7% increase.
So this thing about the minimum wage increase, yes, it is going up slightly, but not near as much as it should be going up. Just checking you can all still hear me now. I've got a signal on my EQ. Just double checking. Looks like some of you can definitely hear me in the chat. But as I was saying, tell that to the pensioners who lost the winter fuel payments this winter. Tell that to the students about tuition fees. Tell that to, yes, low-income workers, because while minimum wage might be going up when you look at inflation, these sort of things, it's all relative. Doesn't matter what people are being paid. It's obviously that's in tandem with the cost of goods and the cost of services where an economy is concerned. It's all relative, people. But people's money isn't going further despite increases to the minimum wage. It also sounds as though she's only interested in looking after homeowners. There's also this huge, tremendous housing crisis that they're being hyperbolic about in terms of the apparent solution for it, which is this 1.5 million, again, arbitrary figure they pull out of the new homes. But again, that's only going to favour, the private enterprises. So, yeah, more of the same.
In their wages, £1,400 more a year. That's only possible because of the stability that we have returned to the economy. And of course, those three cuts in interest rates from the Bank of England mean that mortgage rates are lower than they otherwise would have been. We've got to do more, absolutely, in terms of raising living standards. But this government have already got started in delivering our plan for change.
As if we could get through like any segment without hearing one of those last few words at the end. She's nuts. She's nuts. Denial isn't just a river in Africa, Rachel. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do the thing. Again, that's another one from the Agitator people. Great stuff. Oh, but there's more. There's more. She's been bouncing around a lot of the mainstream media today. That was Trevor Phillips on Sky. I know that she appeared on Laura Kussenberg as well. If you do want a more detailed analysis of that appearance, I do recommend checking out Helena at No Justice. I believe she, well, I know for a fact actually because I do watch it myself regularly, does commentary on Laura Kussenberg's interviews on Sundays. Feel free to check that out if you want to in more detail. Yeah, but she's been going around and around and around. She's also found herself, whilst taking money away from, disabled, poorest, laying off thousands of civil service staff. But she's been accepting freebies, of course. And there's been some particular focus today on one particular example, the concert tickets. back for that. 1 second. So apparently, yeah, she's a big fan of current pop music and accepted some free tickets to Sabrina Carpenter. So there she is on Kussenberg. She's added that she'll declare them, you know, of course, now that she's been found out. You know, she's just been so busy lately with drawing up austerity policy that she forgot to declare her free concert tickets. That's perfectly understandable, people. I'm sure you can see that from her point of view. But from my left eye, it looks like she's on the take. So that was a couple of weeks ago. She went with a family member. But get this, people, this is the, you know, this is the big insult. Get your small violins out, people, and your big tissues, because this is the most tragic thing I've heard of recently. You know, despite everything that's going on domestically and across the world, I think we should all just stop right now, whatever it is that you're doing, and spare a thought for poor Rachel Reeves, because not only while she's inflicting austerity on the nation, she has to take free gig tickets, but when she goes to watch Sabrina Carpenter for free, the poor woman, she has to take a security detail with her because she's a public figure and a member of the cabinet, Chancellor of the Exchequer of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and she has to take them with her, you see, so that's become a lot more inconvenient for her. And here we are, you know, as self-centered socialist bastards, just trying to think about helping out ordinary people. But maybe we've had it wrong all along, and we should just be pouring empathy onto the likes of Rachel Reeves. Oh goodness, I've got the bumper pack as well of big tissues. I don't know if I've got enough to get through this segment, people. I've not got the small violin out. I can't play the violin. Plus we've got the jazz on in the background. Sorry, Herbie and everyone. Sorry, you know, you carry on there. Just don't mind me. But this really has got through to the core of my heart, the centre of my soul, the absolute essence of my being. Just what a tragedy that is. So she's... I can barely read the words. You know, forget Hindrejab. Won't people feel sorry for Rachel? I do now have security, which means it's not as easy as it would have been in the past to just sit in a concert for free. Poor woman. Poor woman. Security. Yes. So anyway. Starmer, just a reminder, had to pay back more than £6,000 worth of his own gifts and hospitality that he received since becoming Prime Minister. It says the figure included the cost of 6 Taylor Swift tickets. Remember that? They're all the big pop fans. That's Sabrina Carpenter. Reeves had to say she'd no longer accept clothing donations while in her current role after it emerged she'd accepted such donations while in oppositions, yeah, from some very top-end brands as well. You know, she only makes, as you can see there, £91,346. A pittance. A pittance. I mean, my lawyer makes 3 times as much as that. Jacqueline, great to see you. Yeah. Just, yeah, quickly skimming through that, sorry. God, the absolute gall on the bitch. She's awful. Just, yeah, let me know your thoughts about that one anyway. I mean about the gratuities, not whatever you think about Sabrina Carpenter's music. She's got security but no popularity, that's right, not so. Okay, people, moving on in just a moment. They're just getting a couple of bits lined up. Yeah, while I do that, please make sure you've hit the buttons and everything. Okay, so yeah, snap election time in Canada. Just a quick go over this as well. Obviously, it's former Governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney. So he's Prime Minister now. So the election's just over a month away. But how do you fancy his chances? I'm not too sure myself at the moment. Obviously, he's neo-lib. It's following on from Trudeau. It was good to see Trudeau laying into Trump about the tariffs and everything, but there's several topics that I strongly disagree with them on. So it's set to be a bit of a dogfight. So you got Yves-Francois Blanchet, Carney obviously, Pierre Poilievre and Jagmeet Singh. So who are they? Let's take a look. Well, Carney's trying to seek Poilievre as Trump light, but Poilievre himself suggests Carney is just like Justin. Well, you'd imagine so. That's easy to follow because it's the same political party. Not much controversy in saying that. The Conservatives in Canada have an animated base who desperately wants a change in government. Apparently. But the two other official parties are the NDP and the Bloc, but they're not doing so well at the moment. So it's hanging in the balance at the moment. You can see there 170 needed for a majority. The Liberals haven't quite got that far on 153. Opposition totaling 182. So we'd need quite a boost there to get over that line. Well, remains to be seen. You can see there that's almost as close to a completely hung parliament as it gets, really. They've not been able to form a coalition. So he is following Trudeau's sentiments on the tariffs. Obviously, there's been that reciprocal, those reciprocal tariffs, I should say, from Canada. Please do check out the latest content on the channel if you want updates on that. But that's, you know, obviously we've already been over that recently. The tariffs. Yeah, and I won't be surprised if, you know, let's say in 4 or 5 weeks' time, after this election's been held, they'll find themselves in a similar deadlock. There'll be an impasse, there'll be a stalemate. But Trump seems to be a lot of the focus. That's what I guess is, it's easy. It's like shooting fish in a barrel for Canada at the moment to criticise Trump, obviously, and the Liberals do have the official narrative, so they have actually had quite a boost in the polls lately because of that. Obviously, that sentiment that Trudeau and Carney have towards Trump is shared by the vast majority of Canadians, so it's a no-brainer why they've had that bit of a boost there. Ah, you're on the free lecky today. Is that why you're doing everything at once, Davinia? Thanks for keeping us posted. So I'll just read a few of these bullet points. Yeah, then we'll move on. It's not going to be too long a stream this evening. Just one or two other bits to talk about. So, like I said, 28th of April, the government wants a strong positive mandate. Carney says tariffs are going to be the main focus of everything. His main rival, if he's pipped to it, is Poilievre from the Conservative Party. Again, similar to here in the UK, I guess that goes to show how close Conservatives and neoliberals are. We've certainly got that here in the UK. This Poilievre seems to be trying to imitate or mimic Trump's tactics. Yeah, vowing to cut taxes, unleash natural resources and bring jobs back to Canada. Crazy. this is a thing with Conservatives, especially the MAGA heads. They'll hold up signs that say tax less and spend more without knowing how one's connected to the other. Tax less and spend more. And these are, you know, blue collar workers we're talking about here, as they'd say in America. But that's all I want to say about that. Keep you up to speed with that. Alright, just a quick word on stuff in the Middle East coming up. Just one sec. I've always got Herbie to keep me company here on my left eye if there's any radio silence. Yeah, good point, Andy. You can't have too many cups of solidarity. Just checking you out in the chat, seeing what you're up to. Speaking of chat and things, if you want to join the chat and you're not subscribed and you're listening right now, please do hit the button and the thumbs up and all that. So with it's normally when I play the Brews at 10 intro that it induces that. Andy, thanks a lot for that, dude. Really appreciated yet again. Top supporter of the channel, Andy Carter. And breaking news, Davinia Robbins has gone over 9 kilowatts per hour. Thanks again, Andy, for that one as well. But there has been somebody at least talking sense this week. I do want to play this to you before I go on to Middle East stuff. This is Anela Anwar, who's the head of what they call Z2K. So they're an anti-cuts organisation, anti-austerity. This is what she had to say. Very well put, I think. It's definitely worth checking out just before we move on. If I abruptly end the band.
Look, no doubt government are facing some really, difficult economic circumstances, but how they manage that risk is a political choice, Laura. And
governments to choose.
Right? And, we think they should be making decisions that don't make those who are already struggling to make ends meet even more worse off. Our client, Steve, he's been talking the last few days about the impact potential cuts could have on him. And literally it will be a decision between heating and eating. The first thing that will go for him is heating and lighting. And I don't think that's how we should be treating disabled and ill people in our country. And to be honest, I don't think the public will fall for the fact that in the 6th largest economy in the world, we can't afford to support disabled people to live with dignity.
Robert, where do you...
Really good point there. Really good point there. And towards the end there, yeah. 6th biggest economy. There's a bottomless pit, when it comes to war. Look at this mobilisation and militarisation that's happening at the moment. We're happy to throw billions at Ukraine, as well as supply other resources to the likes of Israel, but we don't have anything in the coffers when it comes to helping protect the vulnerable people in society. And that really is what a good society does, It looks after everybody. Do you think that people can choose to be afflicted by disabilities or not? Do you think that people can choose to be ill or to have some sort of accident that could massively impact their life? No, they don't make those choices, but these so-called difficult political choices that they say, those are the real choices that deserve to be criticised. And the politicians and certain sections of the media, obviously, a lot of the right-wing media want to focus on the outliers to try and imply that anyone who's in receipt of disability benefits and such is a scammer, they're a grifter, they're somehow trying to work the system. But no, that's only in the minute percentile of people. Realistically, people do depend on these payments, and there's no excuse economically, because yet again, you know, the money's there, but it's just in private hands. So well put there. Anella from Z2K. Right, yes, on to the Middle East now, and I guess I'll start with this. This is a clip from a protest I just want to kick off with because it's a pro-Gaza protest, pro-Palestine protest. As you often see at these, you'll get an isolated individual, you know, crazy nut Zionist will show up and start giving out to them, and this is an example that caught my attention recently. Is Mithril still around? Yes, you are. So you just posted in the chat. So I did mention that there are some links towards Lord of the Rings. I think you'll probably spot them quite well, at least one or two of them quite early on in the clip. But keep an eye. There's no prizes for guessing where this clip is from, so I won't even put it in the introduction. Let's put it that way. It becomes very obvious. But wait till you get a load of this guy.
Anti-Semite! 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 Come on! Are you going to do what you did to them on the 7th of October?
Yes, and I mean, God, look at that face. Look at those fucking eyes. Man. Of course, he's trying the old magic spell, as though they haven't even admitted to this ridiculous tactic. Yeah, he's shouting the magic spell over and over. Well, first of all, can you start to formulate a guess as to where this protest might be taking place? There might be one or two hints in the clip so far where I've posted it. But yeah, they're always like super hyper aggressive, aren't they? Is the thing. Just look at him there, and he's towering over this woman and really getting in her face.
What are you going to do to them, you anti-Semite racist pig? You anti-Semite racist pig! You anti-Semite racist pig! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
They literally think it's a magic, like, phrase, or, you know, some sort of witchcraft going on here, as though they'll all just completely disperse if he shouts it enough times, or if he shouts it loud enough.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
We don't know what happened on that day.
I hope you brought some kindness in your heart, my friend. Bring some kindness.
Another clue in the clip there, you can see as he's walking away, but he's not done. He's not done yet. He does come back for afters, but you can see the coach that's behind him. there where I've just paused it. Yeah, it's going to Hobbiton. It's going to Hobbiton. So he's got that on his jumper, and they're going to Hobbiton, and they're speaking in those accents. I've no idea where this is. Is it Leeds? Just going back for round 2.
Anti-Semite! No one has that flag that isn't racist!
It's literally all he's got in the locker. He doesn't have any sort of discourse. He doesn't have any argument. He doesn't have any prose whatsoever. He's just got that one thing over and over again. And that is all that they've got in the locker in general. Pathetic, really, isn't it?
There's not a devil with the Israel flag! Where's the Israel flag that stands for peace? Where's an Israel flag here?
Why is it? And yeah, he want that was a serious question, I guess. So a few other hints you can see lying around, you know, based on the placards. He might not have noticed, as well as all the flags there. Can we actually get some flags up in the chat, please, people, while I'm on the topic? But yeah, why would there be? Why why aren't there any Israel flags here at this pro-Palestine protest? I don't know. I think I'll have to go and have a good long hard think about that one. Might have to get onto Mensa to see why that's the case. And apparently it's the flag that stands for peace. Now, yeah, I'm making light of this guy, because, you know, what else can you do? He's making a complete embarrassment of himself. But the fact is that one of the more disturbing facts is just how indoctrinated these people are, just how detached from reality these people are. And people wear various politicians, that is, they can wear various masks and they can come in various guises to further their political careers. But when you're talking about these people, it's absolutely 100% drilled into the brain, to the extent that they 100% believe what they are saying, because it's and I'm not giving any excuse to it whatsoever. This is just trying to find the logic and reasoning behind it, the actual reason why these people exist. And it is that, and it's a very violent culture. It's a very self-centered culture, and it's completely, obviously, detached from the religion that they claim to represent, when it doesn't. But to say that flag represents peace is just an insult to anybody's intelligence, and that's probably why they're not present there at that demonstration, fella.
You are Look at your teeth!
Yeah. What was that again? Let's just take that face again. So this guy, obviously, yes, it's in New Zealand. Joking aside, perhaps quite close to where some of the Peter Jackson LOTR was filmed. But what do you think about this guy, people? It's the white socks and trainers that's doing your head in, Mithril. Yeah. He's definitely, yeah. It could be worse, you know, it could be the brown sandals. Is he one of the orcs? Yeah, well, he could be. He certainly seems to think that it is, like, you know, Lord of the Rings rules, that if he if he takes one of them out, then maybe everybody will or just fall down, or go home. Thanks a lot, everyone, for throwing up the flags and watermelons in the chat as well. Pitchforks are coming. I like that name there. Welcome to the chat. Great to see you. Sorry, the display chat in the stream's lagging a little bit at the moment. It does catch up eventually. But they are awful. Heddy, great to see you in the chat as well. Also, Heddy, thanks a lot for the super thanks on the recent video as well. Great to see you, as always. Good point about the sandals. Yeah, Jacqueline. He would actually. Yeah, he'd be in the perhaps be in the opposite camp. But that was just absolutely 100% typical appearance, attempt at disruption. And they always try and incite confrontation, and where they think that they can get away with it, will try and be violent. Obviously, there's people filming this guy, and he's well aware of it. Had they not been there, you know, you won't put it past them. They do start to get pretty hands-on. So I'll just leave that up there. Well, I'll just make another couple of points whilst we're on the topic of Israel. So there have been rocket attacks on Lebanon as well, again, in the last couple of days, as well as the breaking of the ceasefire agreement. Yemen, as mentioned earlier, have sort of been brought into this there in a show of solidarity, I guess, with Lebanon and Palestine. They're actually making some serious moves to take out Israel air traffic. They've already blocked huge numbers of ships. They've blocked ports. There's this massive embargo that they've created, but now they're seeking to expand into airlines, which is, you know, definitely an interesting tactic. It's something that could certainly be a thorn in Netanyahu's side. I'll keep you up to speed with that, but just where Lebanon's concerned, very quickly, obviously, I've said many a time that they never, that is Israel, follow through on any ceasefire agreement, and this time it's, this time it's Lebanon. So again, a complete lack of surprise. It does look a bit familiar, Jacqueline. You're right there, yeah. Yeah, Octo, you're right there. Definitely in terms of his attitude, reminds you of the likes of 30p Lee, the Neanderthal, James Whale, yeah, from the, which one's he on now? The Talk TV guy, and appears next to that other fella, the pair of wankers, what they called. What's the other one called? It's basically like a, it's a gammon ventriloquist show. You'll have James Whale, you know, come out with something, and then the other guy will go, yeah, why are you doing this and that? Yeah. Most of the time when I'm forced to watch Talk TV, actually, it's usually because one of my JSO friends is making an appearance or whatever. But they give as good as they get. Spokes there. And Lebanon flags in the chat as well, yeah. Thanks a lot for that, Andy. Okay, people. Just bring the band back in. Right, come on, lads. You've had your break now. What do you think I'm? A socialist? Get back to work. Band's been really lazy tonight. I might have to lay some of them off just to teach them a lesson. I'm only joking. They do, of course, volunteer. Yeah, That's who I'm talking about, Morbius. The beardy one. Yeah, what's that all about? What's that all about, mate? And then they just literally pluck things out of their imagination, don't they? You're doing this and that, mate. What are you talking about? No, Andy, the band's not on 0 hours contracts. Okay, right. Let's get this guy off screen. That's quite enough of that Zionist nutcase. Don't know who he is, but it was Suppressed News. I should give a shout out to Suppressed News, I think, who was sharing that clip around social media earlier. Please do check them out and check out the social media. I think I got that one from their Twitter. If you want to see if there've been any updates with identifying who this nuthouse was. He's certainly bringing shame on the good peaceful land of Hobbiton. That's one of my main concerns as well. You know, they're a peaceful, humble, country-dwelling folk with oversized feet, yet incredibly short. They'd be like children in our eyes. Yeah. But it was a case of you shall not pass, I guess, in the end, and that's as far as I'm going to go in terms of attempting Lord of the Rings related puns. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad. Yes, Octo, James Wells should have a 0 hours job. Excuse me. I can definitely get behind that. Right, let's cheer ourselves up here. So, the latest one, it's Larry, and it's Paul, and it's broken news.
This is an official message about mental health from the Department of Health and Social Care.
Man up. Doctors say poor mental health is all around us, but we think there's simply too much of it, and we would like that to stop. Depression can strike at any time, with anyone. But just because you can't get out of bed, are thinking about ending it all, and an experienced medical professional says you're definitely depressed, it doesn't mean you are depressed. Get a grip. You may have been told by a qualified expert that you've got ADHD because you can't focus on anything, maintain relationships, or keep any sort of time. Your thinking is disordered, you're hyperactive, forgetful, and emotionally dysregulated. No. Listen, we think ADHD is for children, and you're not in school now. Grow up. So, a mental health specialist says you've got PTSD. No, you haven't. Are you a soldier? No, you're not. Snap out of it. Why are you so cross? Have you tried calming down? Listen, too many of you misery guts are claiming benefits. The welfare system has to be sustainable. Otherwise, the UK government won't have billions of pounds to siphon off to Thames Water shareholders, or to plan infrastructure projects that they'll never build, or to bail out greedy banks, or to fund foreign wars or whatever. You get the idea. And it's just too easy for someone suffering from acute panic attacks to fill in 1 million forms and go through hugely protracted assessments. We think some of you are pretending to have anxiety for fun, and that needs to stop. Look, there may have been a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, a cost of living crisis. There may be child poverty to worry about, low-paid and insecure work, 15 years of austerity, record inequality, economic stagnation. Your barely elected leaders may be complicit in flagrant war crimes and may be constantly gaslighting you. There might be stabbings and shootings and massacres of innocents reported daily on the constant stream of endlessly terrible news, with the threat of nuclear annihilation thrumming ever louder in the background. But we don't understand why you're so grumpy about it all. When you talk about it affecting you, you sound mental. Pull yourself together and man up.
Yes, Larry and Paul. Not with the broken news as usual, but sort of government announcement, a parody. Great stuff as well. Yeah, that sums it up. That sums it up. 100%. Great content as always, Larry and Paul. Right, people, coming towards the end of the stream now. Just before we dip back into Keith's Fondue Lounge, want to say thanks again to all of the members on the channel. Excuse me for just removing the chat for a sec. Thanks for the gifted memberships tonight. That's been fantastic. You can join this list of people for just 99p. Please do check out the perks. So yes, I will be updating the membership goal as well as this list after the live stream. Thanks again. Before we do go, please make sure you've hit the thumbs up button on the stream. It's worth sticking around though, because I'm going to be doing a redirect, and let's throw open a bit of a vote. We've got a choice, people. Got simultaneous stream at the moment with Kevin and Helena respectively, so please let me know which you prefer to redirect to raid into. I've got that set up just now. So yeah, let's dive into the lounge and just quickly say our goodbyes before we cut across. Alright, Keith, here we come. Yes, people, any preference? Andy, yes, of course, you're a mod on Helena's channel. Yeah, so I owe you 15 minutes. Okay, yeah, good point, Mithril. Good idea. I was kind of leaning that way myself. Yeah, we did Kev last time, so let's go into Helena. At No Justice. If you're not already subscribed, please do so as soon as we get across there, and likewise, as you've done on this quality stream, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. You've been wonderful. Thanks for being all cordial in the chat and all of that business. I'll be back with brews at 10 through the week. Of course, please keep an eye out for those, and returning, of course, for PMQ's edition on Wednesday. I've got a couple of new bits and pieces in terms of features and graphics and whatnot to look out for. Always on the up here on my left eye. Yeah, but thanks a lot. It's been great to see you. I'll be joining you over with Helena very shortly. So do say hello when we get over. But for now, I'll say take care. My left eye, I'll be seeing you soon.